Hey everybody, I'm back again to talk about Once Human. If you didn't catch my first video, go look at it before looking at this one. I recommend it. Either way, we're going to go into some further impressions now that I've played the game for 20 plus hours. In case you didn't watch the first video and you don't feel like doing it right now, and you're wondering what this game is, it's a survival MMO at its heart. Think of games like The Division, maybe some Destiny, some Rust, some Daisy, things like that. Valheim as well. It's got a blend of a lot of different genres and other titles it's inspired by. So it's not, I don't think it's ashamed of doing that, but either way, it's got its own nice twist on things, and it does things pretty well. So I want to continue to give you guys what some opinions on what I think of this game now that I've played it longer. And I'm going to start off with saying I'm still not bored with this game. Again, I've played it for at least 20 hours. It's probably more like 25, and time just goes by so fast playing this game. It's not so much that things take forever to do, it's just that the game's still fun to me. Progression feels, at least for a solo player, it feels just about right. I can see how if you rush to the area bosses, because each region has a boss, if you rush to those, you might get bombarded with progression like crazy. Because once you finish a boss, like it unlocks another tier of upgrading your whether it's your facilities, your weaponry, all those kind of things that you typically would have in these kind of games. And for me, I'm kind of clearing each area, just about doing all the outposts, doing what I can. I'm not like going through with a fine tooth comb looking for all these hidden secrets and everything, but I am trying to do as many missions as I can. And like I said, the progression feels just about right. I'm not overwhelmed with it. When I do unlock a bunch of more stuff, I'm excited because I'm curious to see how much stronger my weaponry might be, or what other pieces of structures I can add to my like base, whether it's different types of walls or a new workbench and things like that. And again, it feels about right, the progression and the game. One thing I mentioned in the first video was the game was not super challenging except for the boss I fought. And as you go on, the game does become more difficult. And I don't know if that's a combination of they're just doing more damage, and that it's them updating the game, because they are updating the game pretty often. NetEase, that is the developers, publishers, developers. I'm not sure if there's someone else working on it. I think it said Starry Studio, but I'm not 100% on that. So again, the game's becoming more difficult. I've died a few times. The bosses, like the mini bosses with the bosses, are interesting. You can cheese some of them. I try not to, and it's kind of like the end all solution is just dump a lot of bullets into them. Because now, before I was just using like one weapon, now I'm using two. Now that I've gotten the types of ingredients you need to make ammo and stuff like that, I've gotten not an abundance, but a good amount. I feel confident in using those resources. So, so that's been nice. I don't feel like my. I was kind of thinking this could be repetitive if I'm just using the same weapon for a long time, because the weapon I have is pretty OP, overpowered in a way. It feels like, but it can get a little stale, right? When you're just using the same like method of destroying everything. But I mix it up with something else that seems to work pretty well too. So there seems to be viable. We'll say a meta for your meta human. Next, we're going to talk about the fact that, like I mentioned already, they are patching this game pretty often, and they're meaningful patches. One thing that was in the game when I first started playing was a lot of like Chinese characters. So, and when I mean characters, I mean the language itself. And you'd have to use like unless you speak Mandarin or Cantonese, you'd have to use a translating app with your phone. Take a picture of it or whatever, or hover over the text to see what it says in some places. And there is a few here and there still, but like anything revolving around questing seems to be fixed. I don't want to say fixed because it's like, I mean, I guess technically it is. It should be in English if you're playing in the English version. But anyway, they've done that. They've done like tweaking with the performance of the actual servers, with the actual game. They've introduced like new regions. I believe they added the desert region because I'm not keeping track of those things too much because I don't want to spoil myself. But I did see there was like a 3 point some gig patch on the most recent update I did, and I was like, good lord, that's a huge patch. So anyway, when I saw that, I had to read up on it, and yeah, sure enough, there was a lot of stuff they were doing, and I really appreciate that. So, like I said, patches are meaningful. So hopefully that's the good things to come for when the game's released. And as far as the story goes, it's still as strange as ever. Honestly, if for me, I could do a better job at reading everything. They have a lot of collectibles, books, pamphlets, like newspaper articles, like notes, all these kind of things tucked away, which I really appreciate. And I typically try to read a little bit of each of these things to understand. But the story can be pretty hard to follow along in the nitty gritty because of you don't typically care as much because the voice acting still feels kind of placeholder. Some of it's okay, like it's passable, but most of it's kind of like that's the biggest improvement I hope they do is take care of the voice acting because you don't really care if the presentation of the story elements doesn't feel like important or whatever. You're just gonna like push it over, like be like whatever. I'll just skip through this. It's kind of what I've been doing with a lot of the story moments, like the cutscenes and everything. I'll watch; they're pretty high quality, but the voice acting and some of that stuff just seems kind of like again passable. And for me, I want it to be like I want to immerse myself in it. So once the game's fully released, I'll definitely take it more low and slow if they've improved the voice acting. So and again, I'm looking forward to playing more. This game, I'm not bored. Like I said, I'm ready to go. I could keep playing this for probably another 20 hours or however long. I don't know how long this closed beta is going to be. But I'm going to be going out of town tomorrow to visit family for the holidays, and when I get back in, I'll be playing some more. I'm sure there'll be a ton more changes based on how they've been going. I hope they take some time off though. Now, I will say, I still haven't done any of the PvP stuff. I'm still mostly a solo player, so I don't really know. I don't have any like impressions or an opinion on that element. I have grouped up with people not on purpose, but they'll be in an area and we'll be doing like a mini boss or something like that, or or one of the crises events. Um, but as far as like doing it, like I have a few friends, I haven't played with them, but it is what it is. I'll do it at some point, and I have still encountered some performance hiccups. That's to be expected. There's still a ton of people playing the game. It's still closed beta. There are going to be like bugs as well and all that. I'm not even going to like talk about them because it's not worth mentioning. None of them are game breaking. Nothing will slow your enjoyment out of the game. And other than that, I really feel like they might have caught lightning in a bottle with this game, similar to Valheim. And I really hope, sorry about that. I really hope that it's just a one take, so I'm not redoing it or editing this out. I really hope that when I go back to this game when it's released, that I get just as addicted to it. I really hope they just do something when they release it. I will probably do one more video before I move on to something else when I come back, but for now, that's going to do it for this video. If you still haven't played this game or haven't had a chance to because of not getting access to it before the beta test was closed, go to their website, oncehuman.game. Sign up for a key. Hopefully, you'll get one. I think, up to this point, they're still releasing them weekly, so you have a chance. And I do know one person who's gotten a key from that, so it might be kind of like might not have much hope for it, but it's worth a shot. And as far as I know, the game's still planning on being free to play, so there's that. Anyway, that's my opinion, thoughts, all that kind of stuff on my second, I guess you could say, second impressions of Once Human. It's a really fun game, and I hope you find me next time playing it because I probably will be. So, thanks for watching.